I found out about the bitcoins and the other crypto coins and stuff like that. I first bought my bitcoin at around $400, I think. I think it's a good price. I should have bought more. 50 years from now, if someone asks me, how was your life? Or, I don't know, how do you feel about life? I want to know that I spent every day of my life with purpose, like giving energy around me and receiving energy from people around me every day. She said to me that thoughts can be worse than any disease. Thoughts can be the worst disease. So that means it's very important, our mental health.
Welcome to P&P, the Partners in Positivity podcast, where
Aisling Burnett
and myself, Sarah Harty, warriors of EBP, SBP, DHBs, that's emotionally bulletproof, spiritually bulletproof, divine human beings, aim to wake up and shake up the nation through positivity, humor, and shared wisdom.
Before we get stuck into another awesome episode, we just want to let you know that we have a donation page if you wish to support the podcast and help us to continue providing more amazing episodes for you. If you want to Google Partners in Positivity, you'll find our Buzzsprout site, and on there you can find a support button. You can click on that and support to your heart's content, whether it's a one-time donation or a monthly subscription. We really appreciate all the donations that we get. Thanks so much. Enjoy the episode.
Today on the Irish and international stage of our P&P podcast, we have another unique and supreme divine human being. And that is one of our greatest friends from Bucharest, Romania, Mihai Cheosoiu.
Perfecto.
Did I say that right?
Perfecto. This time you did it very well.
Mihai, you know what? It's so good for me to have you on the podcast. Myself and Aisling were on the same trip with a travel company back in 2018 when we met Mihai first. Myself and Mihai connected straight away. We've been such great friends ever since. And actually, he visited Ireland for a week.
You invited me.
Yeah, no, you invited yourself. You were like, Sarah, I'm coming to Ireland. That's it. Perfect. But yeah, and then I came over to Bucharest as well for a week, and the two of us are lots of fun and great tour guides. But we're here today to share Mihai with the world. Oh, he's great. So Mihai, well, let's just go back a little bit. The Irish love hearing about other people's perspectives of our country, and I know you love the food, you love the landscape, you loved the people, but
The girls.
the girls, the
I
leprechauns.
love the crack. I learned this when I've been to Ireland.
Oh yeah.
The slang you have there.
What do you think the crack means for Irish people?
Fun.
Fun, yeah.
Like the best fun you can have.
Yeah. And actually, in Ireland, we say, "Oh, we're having the crack is 90." But when Mihai was with us, his friend texted him saying, "Are you having the 90 crack?" He said the sentence wrong, and ever since then, for the last 3 years, we're going around saying that we have the 90 crack.
Yeah, we can make this as a new way of expressing your having fun with your friends and everything. Like the 90 crack.
Do you ever say crack while you're in Bucharest?
We don't usually use this kind of words. Like we rarely use fun as a word, but nobody knows about the crack world.
The crack.
Yeah, but we can teach people about having the crack.
Yeah. So one of the first things that we did when Mihai came to Ireland was we went to Lenan in Connemara and we did some seaweed baths and seen some beautiful scenery. How did you find that experience?
Oh, very relaxing, but not as relaxing when we drank cacao. And we were like, oh my God, this cacao went me so dizzy and everything, but was just in our minds. Then I had one of the greatest feelings
Yeah.
when we go up on the mountain.
Oh yes, yeah, Diamond Hill.
Yeah. Also, I enjoy very much the road to when we got to Cliffs of Moher
Yeah.
and the little boat cruise we got around. Yeah, the landscape is very, very impressive there.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I enjoy more the drinking in pubs with you and your friends and meeting everyone in Galway. And also the view from the apartment you had there in the port.
Yeah.
If I remember well, for me it was a great experience. So I was very happy to invite myself there at your place, having the crack, of course.
Yeah. And another thing I distinctly remember was I brought you to a restaurant in Galway called Della. It's actually one of the best ones in town for brunch on a Sunday. And I remember Mihai has this thing of, or at the time you did anyway, that you'd not give anything a 10 out of 10. You were like, there's always room for improvement. Like, I'll always leave that one mark. And every time I asked him something, he'd be like, oh yeah, give that a 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. And then we were sitting eating this beautiful food in the restaurant, and immediately you were like, oh my God, I'll give this a 10 out of 10. The quality here is so good. I remember you were blown away by the quality of food in Ireland.
Yeah, the food was very great. I enjoy very much the steak. It was very fresh. The taste of the steaks are quite fresh and different from other countries or other parts where you can buy the meat steak and everything. I'm not into meat as much as I used to be. I enjoy more like meatless food life. And but if I will be ever again in Ireland, for definitely I'm gonna have a steak for myself. Yeah.
So, Mihai, thanks so much for accepting our invite to come on here today, and thanks so much for the brilliant welcome you gave me when I arrived here in Bucharest to surprise Sarah, and we had the best day of our lives. How is life here in Romania? How's life going for you?
I'm very delighted to have you both here, and I'm hoping you're having a great time in Bucharest. For me, life here it's very beautiful. I'm currently um, living with my girlfriend. We have a rented apartment in the north area of Bucharest. Um, for me personally, I enjoy every day. I have like a lot of time for myself to spend with my friends and going out and I don't know, looking of myself and my desires and my pleasures.
So, Mihai, I know from speaking to Sarah and what I know about you that there was a point in your life where you decided to change your life. You weren't happy with the job that you were doing. You decided to create something different for yourself. Can you bring us through a little bit of that journey, how you made that change?
Yeah, about my professional experience, I used to work since I was like 11th grade. When I was in the high school, I got like a summer job. But from a summer job turned out to a 6 year experience in this company. Was in a telecommunication company. I used to sell services for them. When I first got this job, was I was like they were my first work money, not asking for my parents to give me money for going out, going to the pubs, like having the fun. And I managed to like work afternoon and go to the school in the morning. And I did this like for 6 years. Also, in this period of time, I got promoted. I used to work on other positions, not on the same one I started. And at a certain point, I discovered that I want to have more time for myself, to enjoy more the beauties of life. And I don't know, I don't think to have my next 20, 30, 40 years to the same routine, like going to the job in the morning, going back home afternoon, I don't know, watch some TV and go to sleep. Tomorrow do the same thing again. I started to believe that it's not for me. I'm not saying that it's bad, but the thing is, I wanted to offer myself more time to know myself better and to start um, discover new experiences, to discover the things I really enjoy, and that the things that put honey on my soul, the things that really makes me feel that I'm living. So was this time I decided to quit my job. I By the time I did that, I was already started to make have another income source. I started to trade cryptocurrencies like back in the 2016, January 2016. I found out about the bitcoins and the other crypto coins and stuff like that. I first bought my bitcoin at around $400. I think. I think it's a good price. I should have bought more, but I used to trade for like almost a year, and I managed to sustain myself from the profits I made every month from the trading, and was a great time. It was a great period of time for me because I was able to manage my own time. Was like my own manager. Start to manage my time as I wanted. By the end of by the beginning of 2017, I take a, took a step back from the crypto trading because I felt that it's very it's a it's a very good way to earn some money, but the every good thing comes with the bad side. Was very I don't know, stressful. It became to I became to stay more than I could let my brain get rest, and I said that okay, I need a period of time to get off. I From that time I used to uh, enjoy the savings from I was like living from the savings I made from the cryptocurrencies. And I did this like for another year or so. When I stepped back again, I had another period of trading and making another money to go on with this lifestyle, I can say, like not to depend of a source of income like a job or something like that.
So, Mihai, did you learn about this yourself, or did you have someone teaching you how to trade?
So at the time, none of my friends, none of the people I used to know were into cryptocurrencies or trading. So all the knowledge I learned at that time was from internet, people that were doing that. So no, nobody teach me. Like I teach myself all the stuff.
And can I ask, at what point did you leave the job? How did you make that decision? I'm leaving the job now and actually I'm going to look or open myself up to other opportunities and do trading.
When I decided to quit my job at that time was when I already starting to make money from this cryptocurrency thing, but I don't think is like the main reason which made me quit my job. Was like something I helped me because at some point I wanted to offer myself time. So I think this thing helped me to do this maybe earlier than I was expected.
Yeah. And I want to just chat to you before we move on about time, how valuable our time is as a human being. Where did you start to grow that desire that you wanted more time for yourself? Did you see it in someone else, in a role model? Did you know it was possible for other people, then it must be possible for you?
I think when I realized how important the time was for me, wasn't like a certain date. It was like I realized that like in a period of time when I discovered that I can use my time for myself, not for others. Like when I was employed, I was like 7, 8, 9 hours there, but not for me, but to gain money, which I used to buy things for me. But it wasn't like that amount of money wasn't enough for the time I used to spend. Like, okay, how many hours of a day I spend from my life, and get what? Some money, and what should I do with them? Like, I need those money. I need those money, or I need the time. And I discovered that time is more valuable than the money I used to make. Like, if I do now, like work 8 hours, and maybe I can get like, I don't know, 500 euros or 1,000 euro, maybe I would spend 2, 3 years working for that amount of money. But working a month for that amount of money is not profitable. Like, it's like selling my time cheap.
Yeah, so the wages here in Romania are much lower than they would be in Ireland, for example. Yeah.
For the majority of people, yes, but in the last years, the incomes are they quite increased. And if you want to, I don't know, like make your own business, or work in a place where you're paid on commissions, you're not like blocked to a maximum level of.
There's no ceiling. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no ceiling.
Cap.
You can earn more. Like, it's depends directly on how much you work.
I want to open up this conversation about time and money and holidays and work, because I think it's so interesting, and I've thought a lot about myself. And I remember when I came back from Australia, and I really enjoyed my time over there. I knew I wanted to travel more. I wanted to have more access to money to travel. I wanted more time to travel and just live my life. When I landed back in Ireland, I realised that the majority of the country, with the regulations that we have in place for holidays, people in Ireland get 4 weeks off a year, so they're working 48. And I remember just saying to myself, this is the most ridiculous ratio that I've ever heard for a human being. Even though I know Ireland's better than Canada, and I think America as well in terms of mandatory holidays. But what do you think is a good balance? I know you have a lot of free time now in terms of work and holidays. Like 4 out of 52 seems crazy for me in Ireland, for any human being. I think we should have a lot more holidays. But what would your opinion on that be?
So I think everyone should consider what they really want from life, what is good for them, what makes them happy. Maybe there are people who enjoy this 9 to 5 work. They're happy with it. They are happy to have a stability in their life. Maybe this is how they find themselves, their inner peace, knowing that they every month have, I don't know, like a revenue that they get from their job. People who are also, when you work, you also not get only the money, you get also the recognition for your work. So it's very important, even though you have this kind of job, to be happy with it. I think this is what I want to talk about. It's about choosing whatever makes you happy. Like, if a job makes you happy, go for it. If a business make you happy, go for it. I don't know if I don't know if you want to be a freelancer, if you want to create something and sell your artwork, like music or paintings or whatever you want. If that makes you happy, it's perfect. Go for it. It doesn't matter what do you do, as long as it makes you happy. Like, maybe for a doctor, saving someone's life, he's paid for that, but he also has that great feeling about doing his job properly. And that's for him, like maybe for me it's better to have this free time to experience different things. Like, even though I have maybe I have time, but I'm not wasting it. Like, I want to try new experience every time, get to know with people. I also have a small business which put time and energy there. I After the pandemic last year, I collaborated 3 months with a real estate agency. Then I opened my real estate agency. Like, I have some periods of time when I worked for myself, not for another person or a company, but I work for myself, because there are periods in life when maybe you need the money, because we all need some money, but never put more time than I want to get for the money. Like, find a balance between time, money, and all the things around me. Yeah, whatever makes me happy.
So the moral of the story is, the question people would have to ask themselves is, what do I want? What would really make me happy? What would give me good feelings about my work or my business or whatever it is? Yeah.
Yeah, I think happiness is the answer, because we are travelers in this life, and no matter what, at the end of the day, or at the end of a year or 10 years, or maybe in the last few years of our lives, we think about all the things that we've done since then, and we only look with regret at the things we haven't done. So the the thing is, like, maybe 50 years from now, if someone asks me, how was your life, or I don't know, how do you feel about life, I want to know that I spent every day of my life with purpose, like giving energy around me and receiving energy from people around me every day.
And having the 90 crack, basically.
And having the 90 crack, of course, this is like mandatory.
That's gorgeous, Mihai. Thanks for explaining all of that. And I'm intrigued to know more about where you think you got your great crack fun side from, and your wisdom as well. When I was in Romania a couple of years ago, Mihai brought me out the country to meet his family, and I met his wonderful granny who didn't speak English, and she recently passed away in the last 2 months, and I'm sorry to hear that deeply. But I remember we didn't have much communication, but two things I remember from your granny, who was maybe in her 80s at the time, was she?
86.
86. She put me on a swing. She pushed me on the swing. This 80-year-old woman is pushing me on a swing. I couldn't stop laughing. Then she said she would love in her lifetime to fly on a plane. And I thought, oh my God, what a brave, wild woman. And then the other thing was her wisdom. I remember I asked you to ask her to translate for me, if she had one piece of wisdom to share with me, what would it be? And when her response was, and I'll never forget it, and I'm telling people ever since, her response was, thoughts create disease. Do you remember her saying that? Like 3 words, thoughts create disease. I never thought that she would say that, but I remember thinking how profound and how wise. But yeah, can you talk to us about her?
Yeah, I can update you about this thing. She was full of energy. She was like every time of the day was doing something. Even though she was 86, she was very, very conscious about her life, about everything. She was living in the present, and like when she got sick, like when she wasn't feel very good, she said to me that thoughts can be worse than any disease.
Yeah.
Thoughts can be the worst disease. Yeah. So that means it's very important, our mental health as our physical health. So we have to keep them clean, and have to be aware about our feelings, have to be aware of our mm, mm, thoughts, have to be aware of our energy and everything that's surround us, and to offer ourselves time to listen, to meditate and have a deep breath and ask ourselves, are we good where we are at this moment, like in this present time? What bothers me? And if there's something that bothers me, solve it on purpose. Like when you woke up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you wash your face. Yeah, like takes you like 5 minutes to do that. Take another 5 minutes, like to have a deep breath and ask yourself, ask your soul if it is okay, if it is rested, what he wants from this day, what he wants this day to offer him. Like
Yeah, we might just need to take a deep breath there.
yeah, a good big deep breath always brings your energy to the present moment.
The deep breath connects you to the present moment.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, it's lovely for me to hear more about how your granny was coming up to that moment in time where she left the earth. And thanks for sharing her beautiful wisdom again with me. I always say we get so much from every person we meet, but it's important to expose yourself to all age groups as well, like children to the older generation, because we learn from each other in such beautiful ways.
And Sarah, I absolutely love that you were asking the PMP question before PMP was born. If you have one piece of wisdom to share with us, what would that be? Mihai's granny was probably one of the first to be asked that amazing question.
That's true.
Yeah, she received your great positivity and energy way before this was even created.
Yeah.
So if you like you did this without knowing it, without knowing that you're gonna create this beautiful way of sharing experiences uh, around your friends and around your people that you're meeting and everyone who's listening.
You're a natural. You're a natural PMP.
Yeah. I do think we become more of ourselves as time goes on rather than changing. We kind of just grow deeper into ourselves. So, yeah. Wow.
So Mihai, what's the crack? I hear you play a bit of chess, and recently we've all loved The Queen's Gambit on Netflix. What a series that was. And I loved that. I loved every night she would lie in bed and look up on the ceiling and she would visualize how the game of chess was going to go. That was the most fascinating thing for me. She was always practicing visualization. She's seeing herself winning. Can you talk to us about your chess journey?
Oh my God. It brings up so many memories from my childhood. I used to play like chess when I was like around 9 years old. I first signed up at a chess club, started playing with the help of a mentor, had some colleagues there. We were like practicing, doing exercises, learning new open moves, like middle game strategies, like ending games, like everything you learn in a chess school. Um, so I had this one great story. When I was in the chess club, I went with I represented the youth Romanian team at the European Championship, and we went into Turkey. Our team was formed by 4 members. Was me and other two boys and one girl, and we were like seated by our evaluation, by our strength in every table position from table 1 to table 4, and we were playing against other teams. And for me, it was something new. I never left the country before. Was a great experience meeting new people. I think was like one of the that points in your life when you unconsciously, without knowing, you start loving traveling. You start to love meeting new people. You start to open your eyes about this wonderful life that's around you. And one of the stories that was related to chess but has nothing to do with the chess when was this time when we have to go to the bus so they can take us from where we were to the hotel. And I was loving staying around the bigger guys, and those guys went into a shop. I went straight to them, and when we went out, the bus was off. Like, we were there and we didn't knew anywhere to go. I start crying. They were like laughing at me. I was very upset, but in the end, we went to the hotel. The teachers like gave us a punish. Like, he's got very upset on us, and he didn't like about what happened there. But the experience was very great. Oh, also, in the first day when we arrived, I was so tired because we went there by the train. Was like, I don't know, 14, 15, 20 hours of traveling with the train. And I was so tired, and I was put in the room with a teacher, like with a mentor, not with another colleague. I don't know why I'm so lucky every time when this has to happen. So I was so tired. I went to sleep. I fall asleep, and he had any key. He went to a meeting with all the other coaches, and when he came back to the hotel, he knocked like for 20 or 30 minutes at the door, and I wasn't getting up to answer the door, so I let him like around 30 minutes out of the hotel room, but he didn't get upset that time on me. It's very funny.
What about the guy, your friend, you played chess while watching TV? That was a great story.
Yeah, that was in actually the national championship. After one round, I went to my coach room to talk about the game I had with him, and he wasn't there. Was one of my colleagues, he was older than me. I think he was around 15, 16 years old, something like that. And I was very delighted to see him there because I knew he was one of the best. And I asked him if he wants to play a game of chess with me. He was like watching TV. He wasn't in the mood. I was like asking, like, please, let's have a game. I'm sure that I'm gonna beat you. All this childish stuff I was saying to him just to make him play with me. So he said like, okay, he will play one game with me, but he will be staying in the bed. And I was like, how you gonna see the table? How you gonna see the moves? And he said like, I don't need to see the table because it's all in my mind. Like, have you seen in the Queen's Gambit on the series?
Yeah.
And I was saying to him what moves I make. Like, I make e4, and he was like saying his moves, and I was making for him on the table, and it didn't take more than 10 minutes to beat the hell out of me. He was very, very good at it. Yeah. So yeah, it's for real. You can have like all the game in your mind.
Wow, the power of what you can create in your mind, then you can create in reality.
Yeah.
Now, Mihai, I just want to ask you a little bit about your gratitude practice because I know you're a very naturally grateful person at the moment, and we know about the importance of practicing gratitude. Can you tell me, were you always this way, or did you bring it into your life in some way?
About me being offering gratitude, I let other people to observe that at me. I can't say for myself if I am I don't know, if I have wisdom or if I offer gratitude to somebody. But what I know for sure is that every time I have the possibility, I say thank you to the universe, say thank you to the God for everything that He's offering me, for all the opportunities He had created for myself. Um, I know that only by being at this level of frequency, this level of energy, I can accomplish all the great things that happened to me all my life. And what can I say for sure is that only with gratitude and only with love we can have a peaceful and a happy life.
Yeah, it's something that myself and Ashton regularly focus on is being grateful for what we do have, and that puts you into such a good, positive mental health space. I want to ask you, Mihai, I know one of the businesses you've created in the last 2 years is renting space to psychotherapists, their therapy sessions, and it's going really well for me. And I actually went out to visit the space recently, and I love how you have it set up, how nice it is, and it just seems very inviting and welcoming, especially for people coming in that might have problems or they want to solve with therapists that they've booked in sessions for. But in your whole experience over the last 2 years of getting that business set up and just being in contact day to day with therapists, what would you say you've gained from your interaction with them and their purpose in the world?
Yeah, so there have been many times when I ask specific questions to the people I used to know, and they come to the cabinet to do their work. And what I learned for sure is that it's very important to keep our mental health very stable. It's very important, even though we don't have any specific problem, to talk to a psychologist, because always the prevention is very good. Maybe a psychologist can help us for our personal development. It doesn't mean that when we go to the psychologist we have a problem or we have a mental problem. This is false, and we should always check with those who are prepared to help us, and ask them the questions if we need help in a specific thing. Like I asked them about the relationship things I had. I managed to ask for advices, and I always been guided to overcome all the things that appeared in my life. And I also recommend to everyone who wants to ask a psychologist about anything in their life to go for it. It's like when you have, like, I don't know, you have a tooth problem, you go to the dentist. When you want to make a makeup, you go to the makeup artist. When you have something that, I don't know, you can find yourself the answer, go to a therapist, go to a psychologist, and he will guide you to help find yourself the answer, what's the best for you.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to what you spoke about earlier about when you wake up in the morning that you brush your teeth, you wash your face, you spend time doing that, having a shower, but to check in with your mind and see is there anything bothering you and asking that question. And if for too many days in a row there's something continually bothering you, then maybe it's time to seek help outside. And like that, if you can find a local therapist, that's great too.
Yeah.
Mihai, one of our favorite things to do on the podcast is ask people, what does positivity mean for you? Because we know we're all individual. We all have different background experiences in life, and we have different perspectives that really help other people understand different ways that we can be more positive or just understand the concept. So what does positivity mean for you?
So when I speak about positivity, for me it's very simple. I can resume it to one word, and that word is love. Because by sharing and receiving love is what makes ourselves happy at the end of the day. Love can come on many forms, like having a kiss with your beloved girlfriend or boyfriend, having a hug with your friend, having a laugh with your buddies out to a beer, um, helping somebody, it's also a form of love. So whenever you offer this kind of energy, there's positivity in it. So when I speak about it, I can resume only to love.
Love is the highest on the scale.
It's the most powerful way to reach the energy of the universe, or to reach God. By love, you can do that.
Yeah, Mihai, we actually have came across a thing called the emotional scale by Abraham Hicks, where if you identify if you're in a bad mood or you're not having a good day, you can identify where you are on the scale, like fear or anxiety or despair or anger, and then you can look at all the different levels up to love and work your way back. And you might need to actually take a nap, get to a place of boredom, but at least that's better than being extremely angry. But at the number one emotion on the top of the scale is love. So everyone's trying to find their way back to love all the time. But that's great. That's great perspective and positivity. I don't think we had someone on the podcast yet to explain it in such a deep way about the emotion of love. So thanks for that.
Yeah, and now I'm going to ask this question, but I feel the wisdom was in the last question. If you have one piece of wisdom to share with us, like the question Sarah asked your grandmother, what would your piece of wisdom be for the world?
My piece of wisdom, if I want to share a piece of wisdom with you guys, I can say that live in the present, enjoy all the things that we have. We are living in the most advanced period of time we've ever been. We have access to technology, we have access to everybody in the whole corners of the world. We have access to medical treatment, we have access to education, we have access to hot showers, we have access to a home. We are not, there's nothing that misses from our lives to be happy and to be grateful and to, I don't know, to love each other and focus on our true things that makes us happy. So the wisdom, if I can share with anyone, is that live in the present, be grateful, and love all the great things that surround yourself.
Oh my God, Mihai, thanks so much. This has been a beautiful conversation. We've gained so much. Thanks for being the presence that you are in the world.
For me, it was my first time when I like speaking in this kind of podcast interview. So maybe I'm very nervous. I'm more, I think, funnier than I was today. But now I'm a little bit nervous because I know that we're gonna record this, and I hope I can share more with you and with everyone. So thank you for your invitation and offering me this new experience and this new opportunity. So I'm very grateful for what this day offered to me.
What a perfect moment in time. Mihai, thanks so much for being here, for crossing paths with me back in 2018. And I even could see deeper into your soul listening to you today with the questions that we asked. And listeners, if you don't think you know someone, all you need to do is pose them a few different questions that opens someone's mind up a bit further than they did before maybe. But thanks so much for that. I can see your granny's wisdom flowing through you, and thanks for expressing that out into the world through our podcast. We're always going to be great friends, and don't worry about not thinking that you haven't been the crack.
Mihai, you have deep reservoirs of the crack floating in the world. You're always the crack.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. For instance, myself and Mihai, we're going to set up a painting business. we were going to start selling artwork, and we ended up painting our first picture 3 years ago in the chicken pen of his parents' house out in the middle of the country of Romania, just for fun. And it didn't it didn't fully come to fruition yet, but we still have that one painting, yeah.
We still have the painting.
So if anyone wants to buy a painting that we painted of chickens,
Yeah, we could get
10,000 euro we're selling it for.
Yeah, we were first wanted to sell for 10,000 euros, but now I think it was at least 15,000. Because with age, the value will always increase in the artwork.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the colors of it have changed and everything.
But yeah, okay. Thanks for allowing us to capture a piece of who you are today. And I'm sure we'll have you on the podcast again to see what type of business you're running or what kind of life you've created for yourself in a couple of years' time. I'm excited to see your life unfold, and best of luck with everything, Mihai. We love you.
Or how much love you've just spread into the world.
Love can be infinite. Thank you for having me today here, and I will enjoy to be another day with you again. So kisses, and thank you for everything.
Now it's time for the lunch menu.
Lunch menu party as always.
Bye.
Bye.
Congratulations, well done. Pat yourself on the back. You're officially now a partner in positivity with us. If this is your first episode, we're so grateful. If this is your 40th episode, we're equally as grateful for your ears, for your heart, for taking this time out for yourself and committing to your own positive mental health journey. Our intention for this podcast is for you to feel a little bit better afterwards. So we hope you take some time now to check in with yourself. How did you feel before? How do you feel now? And we've definitely done our job if you feel a little bit better, and especially if you want to come back for more next week. If you do want to support us, we actually have a Ko-fi donation page. It's ko-fi.com/partners in positivity. We really value the work that we're doing. We know there's so much positive and negative in the world, and we want to contribute to people feeling their best. So we appreciate all of the donations we've had so far and welcome any more that are on the way. Thank you in advance. Also, if you got something of value from this and you want to share with friends or family to add to this trend of positivity in the world, we would love to be tagged in any posts on social media. You know where to find us. Other than that, guys, have an incredible week ahead, and we look forward to feeding you some more nourishment for that beautiful mind, that beautiful garden of yours next week.